Welcome to the April 21st edition of MC Lunch and Learn. Gonna dig into some piano chords today, some hit song progressions, look at how we can play these creatively and have some fun with it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in today for the MC Lunch and Learn edition, April 21st, 2021. We're going to talk about cool piano chords today. And I've got a couple up here that I wanted to put on the screen for any beginner or intermediate that is joining us this morning. And if you've got a keyboard at home with a couple minutes of preparation, you are going to be able to make some music with your keyboard at home, especially if you've got some built-in drums, that kind of thing. But for now, I wanted to show you this chord. Okay, so I'm not going to talk much about theory right now. We're just going to look at these notes. So we've got the middle of the black keys on the twins. We've got a D note. We've got the first of the black key triplets, which is called an F sharp, and then our A. All the beginners should know where A is, and also D. So just filling in that middle gap there is going to give you the D chord. So the song that I wanted to show you this morning was this, which is by Ed Sheeran. And so I'm going to play this for you. So that should be pretty recognizable as far as the song, Maybe We Found Love, right where we are. All right, so looking at those chords, we see at the top that there's a D, and then it goes D over F sharp. So I want to show you, what does that exactly mean? So when you play your D chord here, those three notes, we've got D, F sharp, and A. So what it means is at first we're going to play D with the left hand while that chord is going on. So let's just practice that for a second. Our left hand is going to play a D note, so the middle of the black key twins. It should sound like this. Just linking in here. Join with me on this D. Boom, boom. Okay, now on the left hand, we're going to change that bass note, that left-handed note, to the first key of the black key triplets, which is called F sharp, because it's one above F. So we're gonna switch. Preferably with a different finger, but if you need to use just one finger right now, that's okay. So we're just gonna switch from D to F sharp. Now this one little change is going to make all the difference when we're talking about this song and the chord. So here's one of the things in piano. If you're going to play this D chord, and you play the same chord over and over and over for several measures, it's not going to be the most enjoyable thing to play, and chances are the audience is going to want to hear something with a little more variety. That's what we can put in here. So we've got and change the bass note. So all of a sudden, with changing that one bass note, it changes the feel of how that was just getting tiresome. So that is still called a D chord. So I'm going to put this chart back up for the Ed Sheeran song. Okay, so we see right above where it says, "So honey now." So you got D, and then the left hand is jumping up to that F sharp. Now, here's where I wanted to show you what happens next. Okay, so this chord, if you can join me on your keyboard right now, whoever is tuning in to where we've got a D note, a G note, and a B. And so I'm going to join you right here. Here we go. Okay, so this is the new chord. So we've got D, G, and B. So far we've got two chords that we're playing with for this song. So you can see how my fingers barely moved. So it's kind of like, okay, what is exactly going on there? And that's what I want to show you. So I'm just going to zoom in this way. Sometimes I like to show a couple different ways. So with the screenshots and the zooms on these keys right here. So the first combination that we were doing was D, F sharp, which is the first black key of the triplets, and an A. So we're playing that. Right now it doesn't matter which three fingers you play with. You maybe even want to try changing them up. But here's the second chord. You still have the D. Now we have a G and a B. So the only thing that's changing actually is this going to that. So if you would just join me there, we're going to play these two notes in a row like this. So if you're confused what note to go with and don't know the note names, that's all right. It's going to be the first one of the black key triplets, and then you're just going to slide up to the very next white key. So that's happening in one of the notes. Now the other note, what's going to be changing is going to be A goes to a B. And so it's A, B. So those two things. So we've got this one that moves right there. And at the same time, this is going to happen. So I'm going to put that together. I jumped too low on that one, if anybody caught that. Now I'm back on track there. All right, so. Now this is also a cadence which is found in a lot of classical music where you hear at the end of a lot of pieces, and that is specifically designed on the piano to be really comfortable to play. And sure enough, it ended up in Ed Sheeran's hit song. So we've got... So far, it seems like we've played three chords, but they're actually just two chords. So what makes all the difference is what's going on with that left hand. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you with a little beat here. I'm going to take the tempo down just a little bit. So far, in that left hand, we've just got, and then I stepped it up to a G. So it's 3 notes there: D, F sharp, and G. All right, so that would be something that you would want to practice if you're not familiar with it yet. So this one, I wanted to show you this cool piano chord. This is used in so many different songs. I'm going to play just a couple examples here. That's all centered around this A chord. Okay, so we've got the A note, obviously. The other white key is an E. And even if you don't know the black key names right now, go ahead and find that middle yellow note. That's the first black key twin. For you intermediates, it is C sharp. For the beginners, we can just say it's the middle black key right there. Okay, so let's play that together, bottom to top. And this is the A chord. So that is in this song. I'm going to show you right now. So when it says, so honey now, we've got D, D over F sharp, G, and then we see an A chord that comes into the mix. That's what we're going to add in now. So far, the most basic way to play it is going to be, and then that's the diagram that I just showed you, is this A chord, where we have to kind of hop up quite a bit. So I want to show you a cooler way to do that, which is called voice leading. And so for now, though, I'm going to play this riff for you so you can kind of get it in your ear. One time with the drums. Start playing some voice leading with it. All right, so you may be thinking, how in the world will that kind of stuff come together? Because, you know, you're hearing some lows, some mids, some highs, and the big secret about all of it is they are different voice-led chords. There's only 3 chords that I played in that entire piece just then. They were all centered around what I just showed you. It's just different ways of playing them. And so, that being said, what I want to show you is this cooler way to actually play the A chord. So let's find your E note. Let's find an A. Now, by the way, that's a 4th. That's when you hear. So E to A. Now we've got the C sharp, the first one of the black key twins. So if you'll play that with me, even if it takes 2 hands, that's okay. We just want to match up these notes. Okay, so that is the A chord. So now what I'm going to do is demonstrate all 3 of those positions for you. See how smooth it is to get to that next chord. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to jump far. I didn't even have to really physically move that much. It's just the fingers did the walking right there. So that's the importance of voice leading and chord progressions. So now we'll take a brief video intermission. If one of these will launch here, and I will be back with the next progression for you. All right, welcome back. I hope that white noise kind of refreshed your ears. You took a virtual walk out to the beach. Those were some fun shots that I captured out there at Lido. And okay, now I told you when we would come back, we would have a brand new progression. And this one is a classic progression. You've heard it in Beatles songs. You've heard it in songs from the classics from 70s, 90s on up, where it's going to be this kind of thing. Sounds very classical, sounds like there's a lot going on, and in one sense there is, but in another sense, I want to show you how to play that. At least 3 of the positions, maybe 4, and it's a lot easier than you may realize. And all of a sudden you'll play cool chord progressions that are beyond Starting Day, Mary Had a Little Lamb, or Hot Cross Buns. Okay, so what you do is you're going to find the A, the C, and the E. And we're just going to skip on those. And then we're going to play them together. Like I said before, if it takes 2 hands, that's quite all right. So what we want is a skip from A to go to C, and then a skip from C to go to E. Now, if you can hold those down while you play them one after the other, you're already in the race here. Now, all we have to do for this one, for this cool chord progression, is we step it down 1 white key each. So if you take this, what you're holding down, you just gently lift up and move over to the left, just 1 white key. So now all of a sudden, and I'm going to zoom this in for you, you're going to have G, B, and D. And so far where we started was A, C, E. We're moving everything to the left, 1 white key. Now, while we're in that mode, we are going to continue to move everything down 1 white key each. all of a sudden we have 3 different chords that we're working with. So here's the first, A, C, E. I'm going to play that a little better for you here. There we go. A, C, E. Let that ring out. Hold those keys down. Now I want you to just look, and how will you travel just a tiny bit to the left? G, B, D. Let those ring out. Let's go back one time where we started. Then we're going to add the last one. Now the G, B, D. Now we're going to step it down to the F, A, C. Now I'm just playing it like that just so that you can see the F key a little better on this video. If I play it like that, it's a little more hidden. So for now I'm just doing that. So here we go. So we've got A, C, E. Now if you step this down one more, here's the bonus. Here's the 4th chord. So it's going to end you up on E, G, B. Because all of these are just white key skips that we're doing. So it just depends where we start that first note. So A, C, E. This is a great one for beginners because it just is musically satisfying to play. It's very fun to play, and it's got room for improvement. Let's say you can already do that and you're saying, okay, Mr. Matt, what is next? Okay, I'm going to show you really quickly what could be next is playing both hands at the same time, each note. So that would be the A, C, E down to the G, B, D, and so on. We start from F. Now we start our skips from E. Okay, so once you have that down, then we can get to jamming with it. That's all the A, C, E right here. I'm going to move down to G. And what I'm doing, I'm just bouncing with those 3 notes in each hand. It sounds like I'm playing more, but I'm actually just playing the G, B, D in each hand. Now I'm going to move that down to the F position. I'm hoping somebody at home is joining me virtually here with jamming along. That would sound cool to hear the Zoom, to hear the Facebook Live, and your live keyboard at the same time. It's always a cool sound. Okay, so I'm going to play this so you can jam over the top of it. Here comes the G. Here comes the F. The E skips. E, G, B. So even if you're on a guitar, a ukulele, or you're just viewing this just for your own musical stimulation in the mind, to be thinking about chords, about transitions, about how you approach chords, you could also join in on guitar, and I'm just going to show you really quickly, not the full chord, but just some notes that you can jam along if you have a guitar. So the easiest A to go with would be the 5th string open A. So you just play this. So as you hear me playing this chord on your guitar at home, just play your open A string and it's going to sound pretty cool if the guitar is in tune. Okay, then a G, there's two different ways. You could go to the open string, G, which is the third string. You could do that, or the third fret of the guitar right there. That's the third fret, and that is a G. So those two notes right there, along with the first two chords, you could match along and jam with those. This is all G. Here's the skips from F. Skips from E, E, G, B. Here we go, we're getting ready for one more A. G, skips from G. Any of those notes you can play along with. F, we're going to skip from F. I'm going to give you another couple measures on that. F, A. Here we'll go down to the E. G, E. All right, so that's some of the most fun way to get started playing chords in a progression where you step them down like that. And the other example of the Ed Sheeran song. So I'm going to throw one chord at you just to finish out, and we're gonna review these so that you can see. So this is what we were talking about for that. E, A, and then C sharp. So if you're there, be thinking about how the three notes in a chord, they can be rearranged in any order. That is the same chord as this one. They're just in a different order. So I'm going to switch those back and forth here. And what we're going to do, E, A, C sharp, and now I'm switching A, C sharp, E. So you can definitely hit replay on this if that wasn't clear to you, but here's what it would sound like. Okay, there's the E, A, C sharp, and here's the A, C sharp, E. So when you put these together, and you can hear how a number of classical works were composed with just using chords. And then, of course, melody brought in to flavor all of those chords. Hope you enjoyed today's Lunch and Learn. And as you know, we are here for you at Music Compound. Any point of your musical journey, whether you are a beginner starting out, whether you're intermediate, even if you're a seasoned pro and you just want to come in and get some extra little input, pointing out things that maybe that you hadn't focused on before, something to focus on. Also, great place to collaborate, meet local musicians of all levels, come out to one of our MC Jam opportunities, one of the jam sessions, and musiccompound.com. We have summer camp coming up, all ages. All right, have a great rest of your day, and thanks for tuning in. Have a great one.